What up, Wizards? Welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Legends. I'm Cardi Star, and today we're going to be playing Trader Joe's Aggro Warrior deck from the European WarpMeta tournament earlier this week. This is one of his 3 aggro decks that he brought to the tournament along with Aggro Halalu and Aggro Redorim. Definitely a solid deck, decent for ladder climbing, but probably best suited for tournament play. Some of you may know Warrior does seem to be at the top of the competitive tournament meta right now. Don't see it coming down anytime soon until they release another expansion. I'm honestly okay with this hand going against Telvanni. Garnag's definitely something we want for later on. I mean, the fact is these two are Halalu Sharpshooter and Garnag are important, here in about 5 turns, but Windkeep Spellsword will be a good turn 1, turn 2. If I don't get anything, I don't think I'll actually use the ring this turn. Young Mammoth is a good turn 3, so I think turn 2 Spellsword, turn 3 Young Mammoth. We've got Sharpshooter and Garnag for turn 4 and 5. Looks like I made the right choice by not playing anything immediately. They throw down Shrieking Harpy. I think we want to let's push them in the shadow lane. I think I want to go ahead and throw down Mammoth as opposed to Spellsword. Just start applying early pressure. Oh, and they'll apply pressure. So we're going against a Aggro Telvanni. Very unusual. I could just Spellsword, Scimitar the Mammoth, and try to race my opponent from the shadow lane. That may be what we do here. We have Woodorc Headhunter for turn 5 if we play Garnag here. Just really depends on what my opponent can do to deal with it. Very interesting. I think we play Dragontail Gatekeeper here. And let's boost the Spellsword. And Woodorc Headhunter remains a very good turn 5. Pretty close to lethal at this point. Just depends on what my opponent does with this Corrupted Shade. They can't go aggressive lethal right now, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable. We can't quite use any of the cards in our hand to activate Halalu Sharpshooter, so hopefully we can get something low cost in the event that they throw down a guard here. But it looks like they're just going to maybe try to control the board a little bit, or at least go face with Corrupted Shade. There's another Sharpshooter that at least activates one of them. So if they throw down a guard here, that could make things a little more interesting. Alright, if they can't... Alright, so I think we're about to win. Just depends on if we hit Shrieking Harpy. There's one. If it's Lightning Bolt, we're fine. If it's Shrieking Harpy, we still win with Woodorc Headhunter. Honestly, I think, yeah, we've got victory in hand no matter what. All right, good win. Against a Aggro Telvanni, very interesting. Don't see much of those, but maybe those are going to be a deck moving forward. That one seemed to be very close to hitting what they needed to beat me. So I definitely don't want to take that win for granted. We'll attempt one more game here. See if we can't win 2 in a row with this warrior deck. Hopefully we can pull it off. Certainly have won consecutive games several times on the ladder at this level, but you never know. Warrior is definitely competitive in the tournament scene and can be good for the ladder. Just depends on what the meta is. Looks like we're playing against shadows, a lot of them. They're playing Tribunal. I'm assuming this is a control deck, which could present different kinds of problems. It just depends on how fast we can be. Definitely want to throw back everything. That's a little bit better. We at least have Withered Hand Cultist, but we don't have the ring, which is a bit of a problem, especially with a bunch of 3-drops in our hand. Haunting Spirit, Young Mammoth, Withered Hand Cultist, all are good. They play Bruma Profiteer here. We can't play anything, so we'll just pass the turn. Could be a good Haunting Spirit into the shadow lane. Alright. Put a random action into your hand. Well, let's Haunting Spirit. And then Withered Hand Cultist next turn with Haunting Spirit into the Bruma Profiteer, I think, is probably the play. We also have Halalu's Sharpshooter. I could Scimitar Sharpshooter here. That could be interesting. Try to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's be aggressive. They have to put two creatures into this Haunting Spirit to end it, and it'll boost our Shadowed Sharpshooter. We get another Steel Scimitar. And I still think Withered Hand Cultist is probably a good next turn, just because they'll be looking to play actions. So they do boost Sharpshooter. We also have Siege Catapult, which we can actually play with the Withered Hand Cultist. And let's see, do we control Profiteer, or do we just go aggressive? I think with Siege Catapult coming up, we just go aggressive, try to race my opponent a little bit here. Hopefully this Cultist puts them just out of reach of using the actions that they want to use. And then we have, we also have Haunting Spirit sacrificed with Withered Hand Cultist next turn to boost our creatures. So we could do some hefty damage this next turn. I don't think we're in danger of losing lethal here. Alright, well, I'm not going to play Counterfeit Trinket. Let's Haunting Spirit, Withered Hand Cultist. And that makes things pretty difficult for my opponent. Not quite perfect, but definitely makes things hard. They probably take out this Withered Hand Cultist with their lethal creature, and they could go all in to take out the other Steam Siege Catapult. We also have Steel Scimitar in our hands. Sewer of Revenge, not quite where we want it to be, and I wonder for 6, okay, they'll throw down a guard. And we'll win with Sharpshooter here, I think. 5, could win with Sharpshooter. Let's see how close we get. Could have also won with Sewer of Revenge. Maybe that was the wrong play. We'll see. We can't hit any prophecies here. All right. Close but good game. Glad we were able to pull that one out. Very well played. Definitely a solid, kind of a, I guess aggro. I mean, they look to get actions in their hand, so I guess an aggro or maybe a mid-range tribunal. I don't know. It didn't seem to be control for sure. Definitely on the aggro side, but yeah, solid play. Couple of wins with this aggro warrior deck. Definitely a solid choice for tournament play and for ladder if that's what you're looking to do. Definitely a diverse group of decks that we just played against. Ironically, they were both aggressive versions of typically control decks. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to continue to see more content, if you want to support the channel, please subscribe. This is kind of what we've seen from this warrior deck. So I hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.